A few weeks ago, I made a video about my top 10 most wanted guest characters for Injustice 3. And after I posted this video, I started getting a lot of recommendations that made some of my choices um, feel flat. And now I have even more choices I want. So, in this video, I'm going to do another 10 characters I want to see for Injustice 3 as guest characters. Let's do this. So, let's start this off with the three characters I mentioned at the end of the last video: Liono, He-Man, and the Mask. The Mask holds a small spot in my heart. I'm a huge Jim Carrey fan, and I fell in love with the movie as a kid. I eventually found its source material, and when I read those comics, boy, was I not prepared for that. The Mask is a bit more gruesome than the portrayal by Jim Carrey, which in the Injustice universe works quite well. The thing with the Mask is he literally can do anything. His moveset would be so original and creative, and if he does get added in and does not have a falling anvil as a move, I'll be pissed. Liono is another pick that's been brought up quite a bit. I remember watching Thundercats and falling in love with the campiness of the 80s. Liono isn't the only character we could use either. We have Panthro or Cheetara, or hell, if we really want, let's keep on going with the villains from the last list and add in Mum-Ra. Thundercats has had a few rough reboots as of late, so maybe starting with a small cameo will help them out. And lastly, we have He-Man. In the same suit as Lion-O, the Masters of the Universe has a plethora of choices: Beastman, Skeletor, or even She-Ra, whose Netflix series has been killing it. He-Man had a crossover in the Injustice universe, so he is probably the most likely out of everyone on this list. Seeing Prince Adam scream by the power of Grayskull would have just about everyone excited. Next up, we have Aang. Now, I did consider Korra for this part, however, I had an idea, and I think this will make both parties happy. I'm changing it up a bit. Instead of young Aang, let's have the older Aang we saw during the Legend of Korra arcs. I call him the goatee Aang, but Aang in his prime is something we really haven't seen yet, and I think this would be a great opportunity to do it. Also, with the Netflix series in development, this is the perfect way to get everyone hyped up for the new season. Legolas from The Lord of the Rings is definitely one of the fan favorites of the series. I'm not even lying, I had a friend in high school who had a cardboard cutout of him. I did, of course, consider Gandalf and Frodo and Bilbo, but Legolas would just fit perfectly around the DC's finest. Giving a good dialogue partner to Green Arrow is always comedy gold, especially if they're going to be snarky archers. Bloom could even do the voiceover, which would hype everyone up. While talking about voice actors, let's bring back Phil Lamar, the voice of Aquaman and Green Lantern John Stewart, to reprise his role as the one and only Samurai Jack. Talking about one of my all-time favorite characters ever, I have a poster of him right behind me right now. Samurai Jack is, well, a samurai, and honestly, we usually don't have many sword wielders. Many fans of the Justice League cartoon show usually watch Samurai Jack around that time as well. They were both found on the Cartoon Network. I think he would bring a great nostalgia fan base running towards this game. Also, Jack is the best. I want him, deal with it. A weird pick that someone recommended me, but I fell in love with, is Van Helsing. Van Helsing is technically in the DC universe, but I am of course talking about the adaptation from 2004. Universal Studios has a lot of other fun options to go with, but after I heard this idea, I just became obsessed. He would have a killer arsenal between all of his gadgets and his crossbow. He really could be one of the coolest guest characters. Also, this may be the only way for us to get the Wolverine in this game, so let's just do it. Please, Jackman, be the voiceover. Another show that ended recently was Supernatural. Running for almost 15 seasons, this show has been around pretty much my whole adult life, and Sam and Dean Winchester have clearly been a part of that. Being able to choose between either of them would be similar to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles style, and as a super move, bring in Castiel and do some angel stuff, or driving over everyone with Impala would be super pleasing. Also, in the same vein with Van Helsing, they are all monster hunters, which gives me an idea. For those who didn't know, in Mortal Kombat 11, they had a side genre of the DLC. They had 80s action heroes: Rambo, RoboCop, and the Terminator. I think monster hunters would work well in Injustice. While we're speaking of them, let's talk about another: Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She was the queen of the supernatural in the 90s. Buffy's moveset would be akin to, well, killing vampires and the creatures of the night. Crosses, wooden stakes, holy water. I think her addition would be epic, and I'd wager her fan base would come running to see their favorite Slayer kick some tail again. And lastly, the reason I wanted to make this list, the Mandalorian. Like, what can I not say about this dude? Mando has turned into an instant icon in one of the biggest franchises out there. I, of course, considered Darth Vader, Darth Maul, Rey, or even Chewbacca, but Mando is the clear pick. His moveset could be pulled straight from the show, and if you were able to bring in Baby Yoda as a cameo, you're guaranteed a DLC purchase. Those are my second round picks for guest characters for Injustice 3. I already have another list being worked on, but maybe you can help with that. Let me know what other characters you would love to see in the comments below. For those who don't know, I stream on Twitch every Sunday. I play Injustice almost exclusively, so come hang out. All my social links are in the description below. If you like the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. It really goes a long way. Well, I am Phil, and of course, I will talk to you guys soon.